So the NFT market is in the pits right now, but that doesn't mean that big marketplaces like OpenSea are just waiting for the next bull run. They're working hard to get that bull to show up faster, and OpenSea has made a really cool move to do just that. They've released a brand new functionality on their marketplace that could change the whole face of NFTs for the better. We're talking about OpenSea Deals. So in this video, I'm going to tell you what OpenSea Deals is, why it came out now, and how you can use it way beyond just trading. My name is Trent Kennelly. I'm a Web3 marketing strategist, and this is the best place for you to learn about Web3, NFTs, AI, and how to market it all. So that sounds good to you and you're excited. Make sure that you like this video. Subscribe to my channel if you're into it. Comment to let me know what you think about deals and how you want to use it. I would love to get your thoughts, and let's get started. Okay, so what happened here? So OpenSea released a new module for their NFT marketplace called Deals. This is intended to bring the barter system to NFTs. So if I have a Bored Ape, but I want out of the project, I could decide to trade it to you for 8 Azukis. And all that has to happen is that one wallet proposes the trade to another, and that second wallet holder accepts that offer. This offer can include any number of NFTs as well as WETH if that's part of your agreement. And the only thing that has to be paid is gas fees for the transaction. So right now there are no royalties or transaction fees being paid out with OpenSea Deals. But the big question is, why is this all happening now? And many people are speculating, myself among them, that the reason is as a result of the huge market downturn in NFTs more generally. So before we get into how those two relate, let's talk about what the downturn is and why it's happening. So the NFT market has suffered a huge downturn, it's believed, due to the market activity of an NFT marketplace called Blur. This is a marketplace that advertises a zero fee system to make sweep trades of NFTs. So a sweep trade just means that you can buy a bunch of the same NFT collection en masse at the same time. So you can go in, buy a huge amount, and flip it for a huge profit. In theory, right? But Blur was also allowing people to take loans for certain collections if they wanted to buy more of these NFTs faster. So traders could easily over leverage themselves and, as seemingly happened, crash an entire market. Now, I think it's worth saying that it's not 100% certain that Blur is the cause of this, and for obvious reasons, the CEO of Blur is denying that possibility, but one way or another, this is the prevailing theory for why prices are down. And it's also a good answer to the question, why now? Because if prices are down on one marketplace, they're down everywhere. And if there's anything that you can do to encourage the continued involvement of the NFT community, then keeping them active is essential. That is really, really important at this moment. We have to keep people engaged in NFTs. See, what happens here is that NFT holders still find a value in their NFTs, because if that weren't true, even the biggest projects like Bored Ape Yacht Club would be at 0. But the floor for Bored Ape Yacht Club is still somewhere around 30 ETH, which is roughly around $55,000 USD at the time of making this video. And trading activity might not be as high, but traditional buy-sell trades are still occurring on the platform. So Deals provides an interesting opportunity to drive value in a different way. You're now discussing between interested parties whether you consider 2 cool cats to be the same as 1 pudgy penguin. And irrespective of the floor price, you could make the decision that it is and make that swap. Now that said, we've circled around money a few times without directly talking about it. No transaction and royalty fees are going to be paid with Deals, and you can make value decisions without considering the floor, all that sort of stuff. But that concept has the potential to flip the entire ecosystem of NFTs. Not because fees are so expensive, not because there's so many transaction fees, but because of the real issue that this highlights, valuation. How does a valuation determination get made for an NFT that is swapped, whereas we could easily have done it before with a purchased NFT? Certainly you can't just decide that the floor price is the correct price for each NFT traded and value things that way. That ignores things like the last trade amount, which could easily be above the floor, trade frequency, and stuff like that. So what happens with an NFT traded through a deal? Well, it's really not clear how that calculation is going to work just yet, but it's going to change the calculus, which is probably a reason why they haven't added transaction and royalty fees yet, because they don't even know exactly how to manage that up to now. So what does this mean for your project? Well, right now, you probably can't trade your way to fame here. You're not going to be able to take your collection and trade it for a few Bored Apes and call yourself the winner. But it is a great way to market your work nonetheless. And that's what I think we need to consider this as for the time being. It's a way to show people trading up. There are plenty of gimmicks that we could use to do that, like the paperclip to house thing, where the guy took the paperclip and he made a bunch of different trades and eventually he traded up to a house, right? We could do something like that. But the thing is that there are a lot of ways to do this, but there's only one goal. You want to ensure that more people are involved in your NFT project, right? Meaning you want a strong community around the holders in your collection. And you do that by showing people that it's valuable to them to trade into the collection and not to use it as a stepping stone to something that they see as more valuable. So I think the best way to approach deals is through a price value trade approach. Here's what I mean by this. So all of NFTs right now exist on a range of price and utility. Some are high price with lots of utilities like BAYC, Bored Ape Yacht Club. Some are high price with fewer or none like CryptoPunks. And there are of course others on that range as well. There's low price and high utility, low price and low utility as well. But they're typically just those two axes of consideration, right? Price and value, price and utility, without any other considerations. But what I'm proposing here is that we add a Z-axis for tradability. So an example of how this might work. Let's say that you have a collection called the Bored Baristas. I'm just making this up, okay? And it's just getting started. You don't have any brand recognition, no well-known artists, nothing like that. But you do have incredible incentives, like 10% off your coffee products in grocery stores throughout the US for life, part ownership in a bean factory in your country of choice. So if you prefer Ethiopian coffee or if you prefer Colombian, etc., and collaborative decision-making, okay? So these are crazy good utilities. But let's also assume that even though you're just getting started, you still sold around 10% of your collection. Without a doubt, these utilities are going to be the reason that the NFT is great because it allows you to take part of the project and really be a part of it. The only problem being that the low amount of NFTs sold is causing that price to bottom out. So we're going to use the deals module to push the fact that this trade may not mean anything monetarily in the short term, yet could take your whole project to the moon in the long term. So you're going to use some typical channels that you normally go with, things like Twitter, Instagram, and Discord, and you're going to use them not to push the purchase, but to encourage the owners you already have to share the love, because these utilities speak directly to the longevity of the project, and they require a mass amount of owners for people to really, truly take advantage. The effect of this should be that the high-powered users, which you could specifically target in an attempt to get that notoriety faster, are going to see the worth of this project. They'll decide that they want to invest, but maybe they won't want to put the money in. So divesting from a project that they've already lost interest in or something that they were simply looking to flip anyway is an easy calculus. Which means what? It means that you've suddenly got a lot more users and you suddenly have a lot more people more emotionally invested in the project than you did in the past. This ultimately causes community members to look more long-term and see the space for what it is, which is going to push way past just making your project successful. It's going to do what we should all be doing. It's going to push the space forward for everybody. So there you go. Yeah, you could use this to trade NFTs like they were Pokemon cards or baseball cards, but really that's pointless commoditization. If you want to use deals to push the space forward in general, it's in your interest to think more long term. Let me know what you think about this approach or deals in general. I would love to get your thoughts. Otherwise, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're into it, and I will catch you in the next one.